Hi guys, back with another live stream, part 2 of our leveling journey. And we already got the first comment. So OctoWoW is just TurtleWoW, right? Yes, it is. The Grim Master. I got a whisper from Stifler, who just came by and traded me 1 gold, some of these rosy rum, and bandages. I appreciate that, Stifler. Stormwind. The Stormwind guards protect as he walks away. By the way, guys, how's the microphone? I just did the recording of the video. I just posted. I just went through Frostmaiden Hollow with a group, and I figured out in the end that the microphone was kind of scuffed, but I hope it's better now. So what are we doing now? We are finishing the Old Church of Westfall, which is a quest that starts somewhere over here, I can't remember, from a box near a church, and this is an elite fight, so hopefully we'll manage. And let me just check if no sound. So let's do this, and then let's do this. Tell me if the in-game music or sound is too loud, or if there is any. I think the elite guy is supposed to spawn in here. There he is. Just a few people completed the quest and killed him right before I came here. So I had to wait a few minutes. And here's the build as of now. Can't wait to get Holy Shield in a few levels. But this is actually decent. When I'm at the Duskwood right now farming these, I'm just doing big pulls with the spiders and wolves in this area. I can manage around 4 mobs, maybe even 5 mobs at a time without dying. And without having to bubble all the time and stuff. Okay, game volume is low. It's up. Is it still very low? Oh shit, this guy hits hard. Jesus. Maybe I can't kill this guy. I'll take the ad first then. Damn, he crits me. For a ton. Please don't crit. Oh my god. What is this? What is this? Elite quest? Well, of course, you are supposed to be a group for this, but I thought I'd manage alone with this tank build. Is it still very low, the game volume? guys? He did, yeah. He is a tough guy. That Carver Molson. He crits me for like, what was it, 150 or something? You got volume maxed out, but it's still low. You know what? I don't want the sounds to be too high, but we can do music and ambience just a little bit. And I've also turned up master volume now, so maybe this helps. Or I could give it another. And how is my microphone? Because I'm still running air conditioning in the background, and it should be filtered out with some AI acoustics and stuff, but I'm not sure if it's if I'm too robotic sounding, or if it's okay. Okay, that's good. Can't hear the AC. Your mic sounds good. Okay, that's nice to know. I heard OctoWoW has a virus. Is that true? No, that's not true. At least as far as I know, it's a false positive with the launcher. You can... I've downloaded the launcher. I've got no issues. So I think you can comfortably go ahead and download and play the game. Let's try this again. Let's do the ad first. Already we're doing a little bit better. Let's commit to 2 heals, and maybe that's a bad idea. Got a crit heal. Hell, thank you again, Stifler. He's got my back. I appreciate it, man. And he's gone suddenly. Nobody's there. I did it myself, guys. Don't worry. Stiffmeister. You didn't see anything. And he's on his way again with the RP walk. I respect it. Stormwind Guard here to defend the lobbies. It's so awesome. Look at him walking there with his enchanted weapons. The Stormwind shield. A salute. Awesome. And he's even got the shield spike. I gotta get Super Inspect downloaded. That's one issue when you run away from people. This client, if you don't have the add-on Super Inspect, you know, you can't see the items. You have to stay close. What? Did I forget something? Indeed. Okay, so not only do I have to loot him, but I have to get something inside. God damn it. Let's go back. Don't tell me that Stifler from Telebim. That guy was a legend back then. Was he? So he's from the PvP server. That's cool. Was he a PvP legend, or? There's the deed. Where's Stifler's mom? Yeah. I've also wondered that. Does the content work fine like classes and stuff. Yes, I've experienced no bugs at all as of yet. Maybe there are some, but not as far as I've experienced. And classes, as far as I can see, everything's working perfectly. And some people say that they got help from the... I've heard comments, at least, that the team here, the OctoWoW team, got some help from Capybara with the client. Maybe they just, I don't know, port it over, or I don't even know if that's true. So don't bring the hangman if it's not true. But I think that could be an explanation as to why they've, caught up so fast with all the custom content. Like in the beginning, they said it would take a year, and it's been a month, so it's way faster than what they talked about in the beginning. And do they have the transmog? Yes. As far as I have seen, they still have the transmog. Everything's, yeah, exactly as it used to be. I think this quest, right, if I remember correctly, this also gives you another quest, leads into a quest into dead mines. I hope so, because I've got a ton of quests and I'm pretty much ready to sign up for dead mines. That's the one. We even can choose either a weapon or a new shield. And I think we're gonna go for the weapon, but I gotta learn swords. I haven't even learned that yet. Forgot that last time. Delivered a letter to Westfall Church and the Westfall Church to Brother Niels at Northshire Abbey. Okay. I think I got 2 quests to talk with this guy in Northshire. Is it Northshire or Northshire? Folk from the UK say it's Northshire. People from US, they pronounce it Northshire. Is OctoWoW a copy of Turtle? Yes. It is an exact copy of Turtle. It is basically just the new TurtleWoW. That and Capybara Paradise. But Capybara is the Chinese version of TurtleWoW. So there's tons and tons of Chinese players there. A little bit more populated than this one, but I prefer to play here, to be honest. I think OctoWoW is the future. It is the future TurtleWoW for English-speaking players, basically. And is everything added, or what is missing as of yet? Well, I can show you the roadmap, actually. Because if you just go to... Let's see if I can find it. OctoWoW. We go to OctoWoW. Can you guys see on the screen? You see down here in the corner, right? It's a little bit small, I know, but if we go here and say under development, this is octowow.st, and you go to roadmap and you scroll down, you can actually see here that the PvP server has been announced. It's coming June the 30th, so in 3 days from now. And then after that, we'll get July the 1st. Baylor and Stormrod Ruins. So the zone is there, but there are no NPCs as far as I know. But that's gonna be implemented in a couple days as well. And then lastly, on the July the 11th, we'll get Moon Whisper Coast. How did they get their hands on the TurtleWoW? I made an entire video about that. I suggest that you go and watch that video. Let me show you. So videos. And this video here, OctoWoW versus Vampire Paradise versus Sandworld's TurtleWoW successors. That video, I basically cover everything, how it is that we now have 3 successor servers. I hope that answers your question. And this time, it's more secure than what TurtleWoW was. They've gone through extensive measures to try and make sure that this one does not get shut down by Blizzard. So, but we'll have to see, of course. I think whatever you do right now, if you play on a private server, it is a chance you got to take, right? So basically, finish that last 20 year. Oh, you raided together with Stifler? Stiflermeister. That's nice. Ding, guys, 22. And I've got another quest to deliver somewhere. Let's just do this talent here. Yeah, I wish that I was kind of sad that, you know, it was in the end that Telebim got their thank you for subscribing. It was in the end that Telebim got their population, or what's it called, their yeah, pop back up. Right? It took a while and then it got shut down, sadly. But let's hope this time that the PvP server that comes is gonna draw a lot of new people, so it doesn't just fragment the existing population, but it actually is going to add to it, hopefully. Because that's probably my biggest concern with the PvP server is, are we just going to split an already small community, or could we potentially have 2 very thriving servers? So would you say there's no reason for EU/US players to go to Cappy anymore? Yes, that is exactly what I'm trying to say. I think we've got the best here in terms of communication with the developers. Custom content, they listening, they are active with the community. I think it's a lot harder to communicate with the Chinese developers. And who knows, maybe, like, TurtleWoW originally was developed by US and EU people, right? So if any of these 2 servers have any of the original developers, I don't know if they have, but if they have, then I'd guess that the original developers would probably be on OctoWoW, right? So this is a wild guess, but I'm just thinking if any of them had the original developers, it's probably gonna be on OctoWoW. What server realm do you recommend playing? Well, right now there's only one, right? There's in hardcore, so that's if you want to play hardcore. If you die on that hardcore, you can migrate to the PvE server. Once the PvP server comes out, that's another question, because I don't know yet. I want to play on the PvP server, but I want it to be populated, right? If it's a big difference and the PvE server ends up being way more populated than the PvP server, I'm gonna go with the more populated one then. But if it's a small difference, I'll probably I'm leaning towards the PvP server, because I am a PvPer by heart. How's the sound, guys? Is it too loud now, or is it fine? Just turned it down just a little bit. Are there any PvP or war mode happening? Yes, if you go to any battle master, that's actually good you said that, because I think I haven't done that yet. So let's do that. Let's activate PvP mode. Because if you go to talk to any battle master, you can activate war mode or PvP. What the? Is this the fireside talk that some people were talking about, where we can speak with the developers? Because I heard they were... What is going on here? I heard at some point that there was some fireside talk sometimes with the devs. Or is this just a game master? Is he turning? He can't turn me into a... I need to dismount. Oh, he turned me into a skeleton. Okay, interesting.
Let the hunt begin.
Thank you for subscribing, Baku. Well, what did they say? The man who controls the dead cannot be defeated. Best dance gets 100 gold. I hope not. New Scourge army. I'll leave this city in your hands. Don't let me down. He is a game master. Oh, he's gone. That was interesting. But this is what I'm talking about. Active game masters that interact with players, right? This is why one of the many reasons why I prefer to play here, and also with the translation add-on and stuff like that you have to install on Cappy. And we're growing, we're growing steadily. We are at around, at peak hours, I think it's around 1800 now. So I hope we'll keep growing like that. Okay guys, remind me, I need to train weapons, we need to learn swords, I need to activate war mode, and I need to get an vampirism enchant on my bracers. That is what we need to do here in Stormwind. And I keep forgetting what I'm supposed to do, because so many things happening constantly. So this is not the battle masters here. What am I doing? Battle masters are up here. I'm used to playing Horde, guys. I have no clue what it is I'm doing. But I don't see any... I love this new skin that I've got, and I don't see any cooldown or anything, so maybe I can keep this. This look for a while, maybe until I log out. And are there any PvP war mode happening? Yes. I'm leveling a rogue right now. I've got shamans. Plans for hunter also, the class I want to be able to enjoy on Turtle. Or wasn't able to enjoy, yeah. I'm actually also leveling a hunter, and I'm going to be leveling a shaman as well on the horde side, and maybe also a rogue at some point. But starting with the hunter and the shaman. Once the PvP server comes out in a couple of days, I'll probably be rolling a hunter on the PvP server. And yeah. Okay. Battlemaster. We should be able to... Yeah, here we go. You see, I am ready to face the chaos of war and prove my strength on the battlefield. Enable war mode. So, if I press this, that's maybe not a good idea on when you're streaming. If I have any Horde viewers, but you know, you can always disable it again. So, but if I press this, I'm enabling war mode. I think there are some, you get a little bit more reputation, you get some more XP if you join Battlegrounds, which we are going to be doing at level 26. From level 26 to level 29, I'll be doing tons and tons of PvP and leveling through Battlegrounds. And I just got my dinner served by my wife. Tack skat. Let me just catch up with these comments, guys.
Let the hunt begin.
And thank you for subscribing. How do you pronounce the name? Macro under. Hey, any tips on leveling? I'm new. I've got tons of tips. It really depends on what kind of tips you're looking for. I'd say every class is viable, so and kind of good when it comes to PvE. Leveling tips: level a Paladin, Vampire AoE build. Check it out on my channel. I've made dedicated an entire video to this build that I'm going for on this guide. It's a fun build, especially if you played a lot before. And we want to do the Vamp Prism enchant and Weapon Master. That is what we need. Let's actually do all of this. I've got the money for it. And now I cannot remember which with the enchants thing. Let me just adjust this a little bit. So we're going to have to look at my video, because basically the reason why I made the video in the beginning was actually for myself, so that I'd be able to remember what it is that I need. God damn, YouTube is slow today. I've been thinking about joining Octo. Haven't recovered from TurtleWoW yet. That's fair enough.
The new area and so
I think here it is. Greater Mystic Essence, 2 large fangs. So 1 Greater Mystic Essence. And large fang.
Let the hunt begin.
Large fang. Thank you for subscribing now, and it didn't get to see who subscribed. But anyway, thank you. You're worried about the longevity of the server? I think we all are, but I'd say that compared to any other private server right now that's out there, I think that OctoWoW has done the best job at trying to make sure that this server stays. They've implemented so many measures that even if it gets shut down, there's a 99% chance that it'll pop up in a few days. Again, with all of your progression and your character data saved.
Let the hunt begin.
Blizzard's now having a gay pride time. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, honestly. Blizzard is woke and labubu retards working there. And then just shut down Nostrum. They could now shut down Octo. Well, they need to get to the developers, right? They need to actually get to the hosts, those who host the server, and if it's outside of anyone that they can actually get in contact with, then maybe not. We don't know for sure, but the measures that has been taken to protect OctoWoW with the 8 knowledge keepers and the anonymity, can't say that word, it should protect them to a much greater degree than any other private server that I've ever seen. I've never seen a private server go to these lengths to try and keep this out of Blizzard's eye, basically. Let's go, Sheller. Welcome back, buddy. Enjoy your new home. Thank you, man. Yo, what's up? All's good, man. How are you? Good luck shutting down Octo. They don't even know who's running it. Yes, exactly. I think that's going to be the hard part. And even if this one gets shut down, because of the way that this has been designed, it will pop up. As I said before, it is going to pop up again in a couple of days with all of our characters and everything saved, every data saved on it. In a way, you could say it's open source between the anonymous knowledge keepers who don't know who, they don't know each other, basically. So it's it is more secure in that sense. Let's sell these items. You know what? That's another 2 gold. I could use that. Is it safe to play here? I'd vouch for it, yes. I think it is. I think it is safe. Okay, now we need to find an enchanter. By the way, let's just check if there's an even better bracer before we enchant. Like, right now, is the music too low, guys? Or is this okay? Let's do 15 to 21. Looking for something with at least 5 stamina. That's strength. I have a video on my YouTube channel. How do you pronounce your name? Theom Gaming. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I go over TurtleWoW add-ons, and it's basically the exact same. So I'd recommend taking a look at that. I go through all the add-ons that I have, how to set them up. I even link to my Discord channel so you can copy paste my entire setup and settings and put them straight into your own folder, and that way you can play with exactly my setup. And it's going to look exactly like this with the WTF folder and everything. No problem, man. Where was I? Let's see if we can get a hold of an, what is it, an enchanter, right? Looking for enchanter with ramp for bracers. Let me just remove this YouTube overlay again, guys. Was thinking about Protection Paladin. Can he also solo dungeons with vampirism? Yes, I've actually seen people solo Stratholme with a Paladin vampirism build. Love zoning into Stormwind, and the first thing I see is intercourse in all caps. Yeah, that is interesting. Maybe somebody wants to be on YouTube. It doesn't seem like I've been spamming general chat. Maybe I should try world chat actually. See if I can find this enchanter with vampirism. If not, we'll have to make do without. Yeah, so I've seen some paladins solo entire Stratholme with a vampirism build. So that is, but that's an end game gear, right? When you've got some quite strong gear. Is there any other way to donate to Octo or just crypto for now? I've got no clue, honestly. It doesn't look like we'll be able to get a enchanter with the vampirism enchant. Let me write 1% maybe. Maybe people just don't know what it is. I'm gonna give this a few more seconds, and if we don't, I'm gonna bank the materials and I'm going to sign up for Dead Mines. Gonna do all the new stuff. If any of you used to playing Alliance, do I have all the quests for Dead Mines or am I missing some? Well, let's sign up for Dead Mines. It doesn't seem like right now there's any enchanter online with that enchant. Let's actually sign up both as tank and DPS. Should be able to get a crew quite quickly. Hello? Can I not ride the flight path when I'm in skeleton form? Maybe I have to log out and log back in. Let's just do that then. now it should work. I'm just muting myself a couple times, guys, while I eat. You're hyped for the PvP server? Yeah, I'm too, in a way. But I'm hoping for a little bit more than just 300 dudes. It is kind of hard to make groups and raid and stuff. And even world PvP with only 300 people, it's not enough. I'd really hope to see at least 2,500 people on each server. Maybe even more. 5,000 people would be great. But there are some ways to go. Right now, 1,700. Let's just go over here and grind on these mobs while we wait for the group. Did I not sign? Oh, I left it because I locked out. Yeah, of course. Let's do this again then. When will the PvP server release? In 3 days. No? Yeah, 3 days. 3 days from now. Oh yeah, got a level sword skill. I just learned swords. So, let's just do one mob at a time until I get a little bit more sword skill. This is the current population, 1,700. Yeah, I agree with you, Nurse. Weird that they want to split the 1.7k people. But the devs have said that one of the reasons are that a lot of people just only want to play on a PvP server, and yeah, basically that's the reason that they're not going to join unless a PvP server comes out. So we'll have to see, but you know, my fear is the same as yours because we saw what happened with TurtleWoW, with the PvP server on there, but there are some differences. The PvP server on TurtleWoW, it came out at a time where, first of all, TurtleWoW wasn't as popular. There weren't really any class changes yet. This was way before 1.17. And also, Season of Discovery came out right after, just right after TurtleWoW got their PvP server Telebim. I think within a month or so after that, that is when Blizzard released Season of Discovery, and we all pretty much went there and played Season of Discovery, and yeah, it died and it never really recovered. So maybe it's going to be different this time. You can only hope. I think a lot of people, maybe even, you know, people from people that played Season of Discovery, they've got their hands burnt a little bit by Blizzard now, hopefully enough to see that it might not ever get any better, and they're better off trying some of these private servers, giving it a shot. TurtleWoW is something like this, or OctoWoW, TurtleWoW, OctoWoW, same, is probably the best we're going to get in terms of Classic Plus when it comes to, you know, anti-botting measures and active game masters and no fly hacking and stuff like that. Because that is probably the biggest offender on classic era servers and anniversary servers, classic servers in general. Miles says you have the right idea to limit the ganking to people within 5 levels of yourself. That will encourage a lot more people to join because it prevents abuse. Yeah, I think so. I think it should have been maybe something that should always existed. Just like with hardcore, I stated that in another video. I think that something like they have right now on hardcore, you can't trade with people on hardcore unless you are within 5 levels of them. And if you just imagine you do the same for PvP, you cannot gank anyone unless you are within 5 levels of them. And that goes both ways. Because that way you limit griefing. And forced faction balance, yes, I agree with you, Miles. I think so too. Don mentioned they have some system to disincentivize people from killing Grace. That's good. It definitely needs to be decentralized. Because I think that is mainly what's keeping people from playing on PvP servers. Some people, of course, they just don't like, you know, PvP in any sort of PvP, but I think the majority of people actually enjoys casual PvP that is fair. But it is when it gets unfair that, and when you don't have a chance, that is when it gets very discouraging. Let's actually add Let's actually add Purify to this macro. So I don't need to press that anymore. A bounty system maybe that marks the ganker on the map after like 10 kills of Grace. Or like 5 honor. Well, that could, this one could go both ways, because if you imagine somebody who wants a bounty on his head and just to like create more world PvP, so that could also be a problem if it incentivizes people to go out and gank lobbies just to put a mark on themselves so that somebody else will come and actually, you know, fight them. But there are many, like, yeah, I think there are many ways to come up with something that, and maybe if you combine several different things, then yeah, you could definitely come up with a solution to briefing that is fun and engaging and fair, so that, you know, it would open up for more people trying out a PvP server. Because it is just a little bit cooler, in my opinion, when there is some danger in the world other than just, you know, mobs. But you actually have to maybe buy a few health potions on the auction house to prepare for what if a rogue jumps me. I think it adds a lot of immersion to the game when it's just a little bit dangerous. And its spontaneous PvP is some of the best PvP in this game. It is when you are unprepared that it is the most fun. Yeah, maybe it would kill, because the level 5 range would kill Twink PvP. Yeah, I can see that. What if you increase it to 5, or I mean 10? Instead of 5 levels, then 10 levels. Maybe that could be a solution. But of course you can still, in world PvP, maybe even gank someone that's 10 levels higher than you. But I think, yeah, I think it needs to strike some sort of middle ground where it pleases the vast majority of players, and of course then it might come with some sort of sacrifice. And maybe that could be twinking. Of course, when joining Battlegrounds is another situation, but again, the gap between a level 20 player and a level 29 player is also quite big. So it could also but it's, again, that's a balance between getting the battleground to actually even pop, you know, because if there's no, if you close the gap even more, then you just end up with no battlegrounds, because you fragment the brackets even more than they already are. But maybe something like you can gank within 10 levels. Then it matches whatever battleground bracket you're also playing in. Do you know where to get the NAM power for OctoWoW? Well, it is part of the launcher. So you should be able to apply it via the launcher, basically. Maybe I can show you. Let me see if I can share this again. So in here, NAND power, right here, you click this one and you click apply. Same with, of course, vanilla fixes. You click apply. And those should work now. But right now I'm using TurtleWoW's the old files, basically. I'm running the game from the TurtleWoW folder. I just updated the folder with the OctoWoW launcher. And that is how it's working for me right now. But that is just a thing that I'm doing right now. We got the dungeon. Because in the future, I'll just convert everything to OctoWoW. Because I know they're also working on custom content, so at some point I'm going to have to like update everything and just run the entire game from the OctoWoW launcher. But this was just an easy solution to get started, basically, because I already had all my add-ons and everything working from TurtleWoW, so I figured I might as well just use that folder for now until I can't really do that anymore. Three rogues. God damn. Danny says, remember your PvP tier list for Classic Vanilla. We need the same for OctoWoW. Didn't play Turtle, so I would like to hear your insight from someone who's played it. And I'm going to do that at some point, but the problem is I don't feel like my... I want to be precise. And I don't think that I think I need to be objectively precise, not just an opinion piece. And I think my original vanilla PvP tier list was objectively precise. And I want to bring the same precision to my PvP tier list. even though it's very difficult because there's a huge skill gap between players. But if you do enough of dueling and you do enough of world PvP, I think you can get a pretty exact idea. But I haven't done enough of that. I have a, you could say I have quite a high bar for something like that. When I make a video like that, I want it to be pretty precise, and that's even more difficult, especially on something like this where it constantly changes. Because whenever they do a new class adjustment, things could change massively. But I'd say that Warlock is still extremely strong. Priest, from my experience, not so much, not to the same extent as in what's it called in vanilla. And Enhancement Shaman is also stronger, and Elemental Shaman is definitely also a little bit stronger, but Enhancement Shaman has jumped up a bit. But this is like a rudimentary, right now I don't have an exact idea of where things are. I have a rough idea based on twinking and a little bit of endgame PvP, but not enough. Are we... We're waiting here for the others. Where did the Paladin... Oh, he's offline. Did he have to relog? I haven't paid attention to the chat, honestly. Or the in-game chat. I've been paying attention to my own chat. My best unforgivable experience on TurtleWoW is healing even melee mode as like a holy paladin. Unforgettable, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think, yeah, they made some very interesting, Holy Strike and Crusader Strike sharing cooldown, and you need to pick which one do you want to use, and it depends on a myriad of factors. I think they made something very interesting here with this combination of abilities. You can use Crusader Strike for resetting CD of Holy Shock. Yeah, that's true, which is really good. And you can stack 3 times for max cast speed. That is true, yeah. So this stacks 3 times for 9 extra casting speed on your whatever Holy Light or Flash of Light. And Crusader Strike with this talent down here, it resets your Holy Shock, and you can get 50% extra crit on your Holy Shock from this talent right here. But the downside is now Holy Shock doesn't do as much damage as it did in vanilla, as far as I understand. But I think it scales maybe a little bit better with spell power, so the more gear you get, this can actually still be quite strong offensively. But it's definitely the strongest as a defensive ability. And I played a lot with this build in PvP, actually. I think one of the reasons why I love Paladin on this server is I think that they've really gone ahead and put a lot of thought into making almost any build viable. There's like, you cannot fuck up your talents. It's like almost impossible, because every odd combination of talents does something interesting. This talent as well, Ironclad, that scales with your armor, so it makes shield swapping much more interesting, because if you shield swap with a shield that maybe has 5,000 or 6,000 armor on it, now suddenly you're healing for 200 more spell power or healing power just from a swap, which you can macro into a Holy Light spell. So there's even like there are reasons to go for many more interesting talents. There are definitely still things that I would like to see them adjust, like Bulwark of Righteousness, of the Righteous. 5-minute cooldown on something like this is, yeah, it's quite long. But overall, I think they've done a good job for Paladin and making a lot of talents a lot more interesting than they were in vanilla. Like pretty much every talent has seen some sort of adjustment. Like, for instance, this one also gives you some weapon skill and stuff like that. This works as it does in TPC, but Vengeance now also it stacks, and it reduces your threat also, unless you of course use Righteous Fury, which then in turn makes Threat Paladin better, because before it did not reduce, or it did not, it still had the reduced threat even though you had Righteous Fury active. But now they've made a change so it cancels the threat reduction when Righteous Fury is active. Downloading the launcher, is it cross-faction? Yes, the PvE server is cross-faction. Unless, well, even though you have war mode active actually. But if you stumble upon somebody who's also have war mode active, you can still fight them in PvP. Unless you are in a group together, of course. Are you going for the Panther Trinket in Darkshore? I haven't heard about the Panther Trinket. Tell me about that. The what is it? What's it called? What's it name? And what does it do? What rings have you got? I can actually show you guys my entire gear set here. I've just bought it off of the auction house. This is just the blacksmithing crafted rough bronze gear, and I've put some enchants on it. More stamina, more armor. This was really cheap. Pause the video if you want to see. And these two rings are definitely more powerful than I first anticipated. They help a lot with sustain. And yeah, it's just a lot of stamina and some defense. Are we all here, or is it just, are we waiting for the Paladin? Okay. Hey Sheldon, why aren't you playing on the PvP realm when it starts in 3 days? I mean, I know you as a PvP guy. Yes, I am also. Melt, I am also going to be playing on the PvP. How are you doing, by the way, Melt? I'm going to be playing on the PvP server once we get it, once it's released. But right now, you know, this is where it's at. There is no PvP server as of right now, so might as well just level a little bit on the PvE server. I'm not against cross-faction because it's easier to find group for elite quests and dungeons raids and etc. Yeah, I agree with you. That is one of the big advantages of being on a cross-realm or cross-faction server. Did it a long time ago, don't quote me, but the north part of Darkshore, there is some panther statue. When you activate them, they either summon a panther that attacks you or give you a quest. North part of Darkshore. So we're talking up here. That's interesting. I'll check it out. Okay, seems like we are all here. Let's buff up. And yeah. Yeah, they are all waiting for me. It is a TurtleWoW group, yeah. Let's just jump down this way, right? It is the fastest, isn't it? Doing fine. Thanks for asking. Hope you and your family are doing good. Heat wave is crazy here in Germany. Oh, you're also level 23 on Octo. That's nice, man. Yeah, definitely. I've got a haircut going in the background, and I've said earlier that if my mic is a little bit distorted, it is because the aircon is going off constantly in the background. But I've got some noise reduction thing applied, so hopefully it isn't too bad. But I cannot, like, I need this air conditioning going in the background, else I'm gonna die. It is extremely humid and hot. I think we got today 35 degrees. Yeah, 35 degrees. Can I just point out to you guys, I know I said it before in a previous video, but adding maps to areas like this. Thank God. Like, and this is really something that I enjoyed with TurtleWoW compared to Project Epoch and many of the other private servers, that they are actually, they've made custom maps of every single dungeon and sometimes even a big indoor zone. Then there's a custom made map. One can really appreciate that. Here in Germany we got 38 degrees Celsius. Holy shit. Oh my god, I hope you guys have air conditioning. I've bought 2 of those air conditioners where you have to put a tube out the window for it to disperse the hot air out of the window. So it works. I can say that it works. Way better than just having some propeller that's blowing air, hot air around. There's actually a lot of cold air comes out. So you can definitely feel like, look guys, this is what I'm talking about. I don't think I've ever seen a map of dead mines. Maybe if you play retail, there's a map, but look at this. You gotta love it. Share quest, please. Oh, let me just share some quests. Share. Can't share that. Can't share that. Don't want to do the undead ones anyway. What is he talking about? Well, let's start. Oh, we gotta use my righteous fury. So we can actually get some threat. How many players currently playing? Yeah, 1.8 or 1800. In the beginning, we were growing with like 100 players a day, but it hasn't been growing that much lately. Maybe because of the PvP server coming out soon and maybe players will just, you know, wait until that one comes out and start playing. I hope so. I think a lot of people are still, you know, they're still afraid of what if there's any virus or what if there's anything with the launcher and stuff. So I think people are holding off a little bit, and also maybe a little bit burned out jumping from private server to private server while you watch Blizzard shut them down one at a time. But I don't think this will succumb to the same. Don't think this server will succumb to the same destiny as the other private servers. I think the measurements that they've taken to protect OctoWoW from Blizzard, I hope they will be enough. I think they will be enough. I'm one of the people just waiting for the PvP server to launch while watching streams and catching every comment on Discord. Okay. Yeah, there you go, guys. Still, I think there's actually a lot of you guys who might just sit and wait for the PvP server, because the launch is so close now. So I can understand why people don't even want to like bother with leveling on the PvE server. It would have been a different situation if there's like a few months. But since it's so close, I understand. It will grow as time goes on, yes. I think so too. And people want to see if this server will last, so they'll give it a few months or something and people will start to trickle in slowly. Because they'll see this is sticking around. Hopefully it's sticking around. Can never know for sure, but I think this is the server that's taking the most extreme measures of trying to make sure that it doesn't get shut down, so that gives me some confidence. And I think Capybara is way more what's it called, way more in the Blizzard sites, and it's way more exposed than this is, because it is running on the same devs, and I don't think they have the same security measures. Plus, Blizzard is working together with China with their version of TurtleWoW, and yeah, just lots of things that makes me think that Capybara is a little bit more exposed. And yeah, but we'll have to see.
Let the hunt begin.
Thank you for subscribing, Ikari. Yeah, the possibility of this server having invasive malware is scaring a lot of us from playing here. Yeah, I think so too. And it has been appropriated by a few, like the devs themselves, the TurtleWoW devs, right? Or Shenna. Well, I don't know if any of that is true. I don't think any of that is true. I think it is fear-mongering. Because the same malware issue were on TurtleWoW's 1.17 launcher. It's the exact same issues. And those were all false positives. And now that the launcher has gone open source, so if there was any malware, I've had brought in my chat another viewer who has some IT experience, lots and lots of IT experience, and he said that he tested it in on a localized machine. I have no idea what that means, but anyway, he said that what is there is not something that is to him scary, and he's one of the people who like takes extra precautions when it comes to stuff like that. So if he says okay for it, then I think most people can be safe with the launcher. At least I don't think anymore. I was in doubt in the beginning, but I don't think anymore that there's, you know, any malicious intent. So, there's saying something. Game Master writes me, "My brother in delight, you are truthfully a mighty tank." I'm just gonna respond here. Sorry, people are writing. I haven't been paying so much attention. Blessing of might, please, thanks. Oh yeah.
Let the hunt begin.
Thank you for subscribing, Altar. Altar Knight. Nice mace. All right, let's move on. Yeah, I think you're right, Miles. OctoWoW is the best option for NA/EU players, and they are all more open-minded to suggestions. I've also got the feeling that these guys are definitely more interactive with the community than what my experience was with TurtleWoW. Not that there was anything, you know, wrong with that, but it's just, yeah, it's nice to see. Like this game master who just popped in wrote me in Danish, and like game masters interacting, very active in the game, talking with players, playing with the players. I just love to see that. Taking suggestions, taking feedback, stuff like that. Let's just wait for the rogue to finish. Anyone missing buffs? Why am I? Yeah, you're right. What is going on? Maybe that was the game master. He's made me bigger. I think we got a game master in watching the stream. Just want to say appreciate you guys. OctoWoW team, you're doing an amazing job. This is a breeze, guys. This dungeon. Maybe I'm a little bit overgeared as well. Still got screenshots from TurtleWoW keeping on my Google Disk for memories, yeah. I got a video I never published, but I was at the closing event where everybody was gathered. I want to publish that at some point. There were so many people there, it was crazy. Sadly, a lot of the TurtleWoW, like every TurtleWoW, their official YouTube channel got shut down, and yeah, you can't really find any of the trailers and media anymore on their official site. God damn, the axe dropped. Oof. That is very nice. Am I allowed to need on that? I think so. They're all reading, so I'm going to need on that. That is very nice. Oh, we got a game master here. And he disappears. Why was that game master in your dungeon? Yeah, I don't know actually. Maybe we have a game master watching the stream. Who knows? I'm guessing that's why. Or maybe it's just a massive coincidence. I've seen game master as well in there was one in Stormwind just as we entered Stormwind, and he turned us into skeletons. So that was a little bit fun. Another testament to how much they actually interact with the players. When the PvP server goes up, will you stay there? I might, I'm not sure. It really depends where the majority of players end up. I think if it's close to the same population as the PvE server, I might stay there. But if the PvE server ends up being like way more populated, then I think I'm going to stick with the PvE server, because there are just too many advantages for the PvE server. First of all, you know, you get paladins in your raids and you get shamans in your raids. You get the cross faction BGs as well, so BGs pop a lot faster. I don't know if they're going to, well, they said actually at some point they'll be implementing cross realm battlegrounds, meaning that even whether you're playing on the PvE or the PvP server, that should actually be the same. But I think also like finding groups and stuff, creating groups when you can group up cross-faction, that is a big advantage. And I love world PvP, but at the end of the day, I'm doing the most of my PvP in battlegrounds. So I would love to see the PvP server be equally populated, but it if it's not, then I'm staying with the PvE server, I think. But we'll have to see. I've not made any final decision yet on that. It really depends on a lot of things. Yeah, they implemented cross-faction. Well, at least they implemented cross-faction battlegrounds to TurtleWoW because the queues were a little bit long sometimes, and especially at lower levels. And I don't mind actually. Of course, the most important thing for me is that I don't have to wait 20 minutes to get into a battleground. And right now, as it was when when TurtleWoW got shut down, you know, you had to wait like 30 seconds before a battleground popped because of the cross faction thing. On PvP, so Shamans and Palas won't be able to play together? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yes, time will tell. This is the OctoWoW team, so maybe they do different things, or I don't know. We'll only have to see what they come up with of ideas. And yeah, they've also said that if it ends up being like a huge disparity in population, they might just merge the servers together again, so that we don't end up like fragmenting a very small community. So I don't fear for it in the same way as I did with the TurtleWoW dev team, because, you know, I already know that if it ends up being a dead server, the PvP server, which I don't think it will be this time around, but just worst case scenario, if it ends up being a dead server, they will just merge them together again, and we'll have basically a normal server again with war mode, just as it is here, right? Which, in my opinion, is still better than a extremely low populated. Might we die? Are we going to die here, guys? I think. Well, I got lay on hands. This might be a tough one. I might have to bubble myself, sacrifice the rogues. I bubbled the Paladin, I bubbled myself. The Paladin can heal me, and I got aggro back. I still got lay on hands. She also has lay on hands. The rogue survived, or at least two of them did. So we should be able to manage. Let's kill the ad first, and should be good. There's one thing I would like to see added to Paladins, right? Maybe nerf something else so they don't get overpowered. But I would like to see, what's it called? Oh, I don't have that ability learned, probably. Exorcism, yeah. Just like in Wrath of the Lich King, Exorcism is usable on every target, but it only crits on undead and demons. That would also help tanks a lot with pulling. That's a good question. Will they merge the PvE and the PvP server if something goes wrong? Yes. If the population dies or gets very, very low on the PvP server, then they will merge them together. Let's just finish the room here, actually. Can I have might, please? Yes, you can. You guys in group, is any of the ones in my group here also in the chat? watching the stream. I just installed OctoWoW playing Mage, High Elf. 1,700 people are online. Yeah. Let's hope within... Well, it's not going to increase more because now the PvP server is coming out. But let's hope within a few months that we'll be at around, you know, I'd say 2,500 people. I think that's a good population. And in the near future, hopefully, you know, we'll end up at 5k on both servers. That would be awesome. That means the entire EU/NA TurtleWoW community will be back. But maybe that is wishful thinking. Oh my god. Did we get a massive ass pull again? They just kept pulling each other. This is not good. I'm gonna have to lay enhance this one. Maybe we should pull back a little bit further. No! Oh, we pulled this guy as well. Jesus. This is going to be a tough one. Let's see if we can go up here and line of sight those guys. Big heals from that other paladin. Stella. What's her name? Sariella? Something. Damn, that was close. Good job. Oh, never mind. Somebody looted it, that's fine. Right. Should we clear this first? Probably should, right? Let's get these guys. Oh, nice. Sapped him. Oh, damn it. Dropping the pants. Not what we were hoping for. No boom. He picked the door. The rogue. Sorry, rogues. But I again had to... I'm getting overconfident in my ability to pull. I think mobs are hitting a little bit too hard now to pull that many. Ah, what? There's a squid in the water, guys. Here we got another game master. Look at this giant squid. What the F? I just love to see it. I need to find an add-on that turns off the, the noise that is whenever I press an ability and it doesn't go off. You hear that kind of error noise like you hear right now, that noise. Need to find an add-on or something that can turn that off. Be right back, guys. My wife wants something. I'm back, guys. This is, okay, 2 people needed it. But this could be a nice sword, not because of the damage, but as I go through in my guide, because of the attack speed. The faster the attack speed, the more mana you're going to get back from Seal of Wisdom. So it's actually quite a good blade, even for me, but I'm going to pass it for the rogues, because they of course need it more than I do. That's way more of a direct damage increase to those guys. Exhumanitica says, I used to hate all MMOs, but a few months ago, TurtleWoW gave me that unparalleled vibe that no other MMO have, so I agree. I've tried many other MMOs, but nothing really grips me for like to the same extent that WoW in general, but especially the vanilla / TurtleWoW world. Classic Plus. Like TBC was also good, RAF was also good, but I did not like PvP stats like resilience, and I did not like flying mounts, especially the way they were implemented. And had it not been for those two things, that's the two major things, I'd probably have enjoyed that way more. And also, I think, because overall, I think actually classes were really cool in Wrath. Some classes were better in TPC, in my opinion. I think, for instance, Rogue. I really like Shadow Step, and I really like Cloak of Shadows. I really like the pace in TPC. But for instance, for Hunter, I don't like TPC Hunter. I much prefer Wrath Hunter. And Rogue got was it Shadow Dance or something in Wrath, which was a spell that I must say it felt clunky to use. I could never get that into my rotation. But I think Paladin was nice in Wrath, and I think Hunter was really nice in Wrath. Even Shaman to some extent with the lava burst and stuff. I think there are a lot of things that I like about it, but there are just too many things that takes away. The thing where you were always just running around in Dalaran, running in circles. There was really nothing to do, and when you queued up, you get teleported everywhere. That kind of broke the open world as well as flying mounts, and resilience just kind of... oh, this is actually quite good. But it's not better, so we'll skip that. And there's another fast one-handed. We'll skip it. But yeah, what was I saying? I say, yeah, resilience is, yeah, that kind of broke PvP for me, because instead of the RPG element disappears when you make scenario-specific stats. Because then that, like, PvP stats becomes the de facto best in PvP, and all other stats are now inferior. And if there are no options, like it's just a checklist of gear, go to the PvP vendor, you get your gear, then there's no real reason to interact with the rest of the world. So it kind of makes the entire game smaller, just like playing the newest patch of the game, which is what you do on retail pretty much, right? You always play only the newest patch is relevant, everything else is irrelevant. It's redundant, and that is exactly what I think PvP stats does to some extent just for PvP. And as a PvPer myself, I don't want the entire world to be redundant. If I wanted that, I'd play, some other game where that's only PvP. I play Dota instead or something. But I want to go out into the world, get PvP gear from dungeons, from raids, from doing PvP, from quest chains, from rep grinds, from basically from the entire world, from crafting stuff, like involve everything in that gearing process. That is how you make an RPG MMO. Or else, if you don't have that, then you don't have an RPG MMO, then you just got an MMO. But there's no RPG in it. Did a game master make you bigger? Yeah, I think the squid guy we saw before, that's the guy, he's been following us through this dungeon, and He's the guy I think that made us, or made me bigger. Let's actually pull these guys a little bit back. So we don't accidentally pull Van Cleef. BM Hunter over Shaman for PvP, I guess. Yeah, I think so. I think Beastmaster, especially at lower levels, I think Beastmaster Hunter. I think Shaman in here still needs some sort of utility to really be strong in PvP. I'm getting even bigger now. It's going crazy now, guys. Oh damn! Here we have the Game Master. We've come to the end. He says, you've come to the end. Let me just remove my... so you guys can see what he's writing. That's not the one. That is this one. I move the chat box up here. That's just how paladins work. I see. Swole paladin. Oh, I've shrunk down again. Let's go. Is he going to wipe us now? I don't know. I fear him standing there watching. I don't like this, guys. Now show me what you got. Has he buffed Van Cleef? Does he usually have 5,000 health, guys? What is going on here?
None may challenge the Let the hunt begin.
Thank you for subscribing, Mike. I don't know if it's the notification sound too high, guys. Tell me if it's too loud. I could tone it down a little bit. Let's just kill Van Cleef. Some nice gear for the rogues. I'll pass on that. Remember to loot it, guys.
Excellent.
He stood no chance. You've all earned a reward. What kind of reward? This is awesome. Check your inventory. What have you got? Not too many things. Rat? Is it that? That's the finest dig rat. Right click to trade with... oh, alt click to trade. Sorry, that's not the one. Great for barbecue. He doesn't want it back, it's just to keep. Well, thank you. We appreciate the rat. I'll roast it when I get home. Well fought, brave warriors. Oh, he's gone. Well, that was interesting and nice, I think. Let's see if we can get the last guy, right? And let's hopefully not wipe now. That would be embarrassing. Yeah, Cookie, that's the... Yeah, he's coming. And he drops the wand. Sadly, no one here to use it. All right. Finally. Done. Did I complete all quests? Not this one. Okay, that's outside of the instance, I think, these two. So, that's fine. I think I'll skip those. It was really nice to see some like interaction with the game master in the run. Never experienced that before, so that was fun. Was it 1900 a few hours ago on the population? Damn. So it peaked at 1900. So it is actually growing. Still. Did you run Frostmane Hollow yet? Yes. Actually, I did not do that live on stream because I had a lot of things, my daughter in the background going on and stuff. So I did that off stream and I uploaded the video. So there's a video just uploaded today on my channel where I go through Frostmane Hollow. That's also the first time for me with Frostmane Hollow. So that, yeah, that was a nice little dungeon actually. something that's not too like long. And I think they've struck quite a good balance here on TurtleWoW. With there are some dungeons that are, you know, small dungeons that doesn't necessarily take more than like an hour, half an hour. And then there are those bigger dungeons like Stormward Castle and stuff like that probably is supposed to be broken up into, you know, 2 separate runs, one lower and one upper. So yeah, nice little introductory dungeon.
Well met. Go with honor, friend.
Got some nice leggings. Let's get a horse and deliver this quest over here. Would you be Horde or Alliance on the PvP server? I'm going to be Horde on the PvP server. I'm going to be leveling, I think I'm going to be leveling a... It's either going to be a Hunter, Orc Hunter, or maybe an Orc or Tauren Shaman. I haven't really decided whether it's going to be Hunter or Shaman yet, but I'm leaning towards Hunter. Pusol, that was me. Yeah, that was me. I've heard that a lot, One Touch. He says, funny that they made Solitary Rogue a support spec, but overall I prefer Mage. You can switch from specs easily and top damage. But yeah, I've heard that a lot, but when I would look at the Rogue talents, I don't actually see how it's just a support spec. Like, there are new talents that definitely are to support the group, but it's not like it's any worse than vanilla. It still has the same, doesn't it? Doesn't it still have the exact same talents as it does in vanilla in terms of output and utility? Last time I was here, the house wasn't here. I haven't really read the quest. I don't know if that's part of the quest chain that he builds the house or something, but or if it's just a bug on my the previous client I was before I updated. He's talking a lot, but I think I'm done, right? He doesn't do any follow-up quest, I think. Oh, I have it. And Sentinel Hill, okay. Right back. Oh, this is not a real mount. This is something that just like Project Epoch, they had the transport cabin thing, or the transport things in the low-level zones. TurtleWoW did something different, where you can actually go to some sort of you can go to any mount and pay 50 copper, and then rent a horse or a mount for 5 minutes. So it's not really my mount. It's still level 40 until you can get the mount. So nothing's changed in that regard. But this is just to make it a little bit easier for low levels to get around, which I think is really nice. Yeah, man, no problem. It's just a different way of doing the thing they did on Project Epoch with the transport things. You could jump into those carts and they would transport you to the major cities.
Hello.
Or not cities, Razor Hill and Brill and stuff like that. And here in Westfall, I think there's only one over there. And there are a couple at Goldshire. And I think also at the logging camp here. Maybe. I'm not sure actually.
How are you? See.
Can I invite to my guild? I don't think I can. I can try. How do I do that? I don't think I have ranked. That's what I'm looking for, yeah. Yeah, initiate. I don't think I can... Yeah, it's not my guild. I'm just a member of, what's it called? Scarlet Crusade? Player name. It says it shows my name. It's your own name. There you go. The Scarlet Crusade. Yeah. Let's just deliver quests and go grind some more mobs. Am I doing any challenges now on this on this character? No, actually not. No challenges. Well, not hardcore. What's it called? Hard mode? No. War mode. Sorry. I can't brain. War mode. I'm doing war mode. And so you could say, I don't know if you could call that a challenge, but yeah. I'm going to start to twink a little bit when I reach, I'd say, mid-20s. I'm gonna go ahead and look for some nice gear. And then I'm probably going to start leveling a little bit through dungeons. Or not for dungeons, I mean for battlegrounds. And ding. Let's get this one. Hot mode, ja. Om jeg kan holde varmen? Det er meget varmt. I've got aircon going, air conditioning, so it helps. But that is also why the microphone might sound a little bit distorted sometimes, because I'm using a, what's it called, some sort of filter to like noise reduction thing. So hopefully remove background noise. But since I can't hear my own stream, I'm betting on you guys to tell me if there's anything going wrong or, yeah, I don't know, air conditioning sound creeping in or something. Well, if you can't hear it, then it's working, because it's definitely loud, the air conditioning. Aircon show off, yeah. I thought I'd prepare for this week and the heat wave. It is insane in Europe right now. We're not used to this kind of heat in Denmark. Let's actually sell some of all of this. And where do I, guys, where do I need to go to learn two-handed axes? Does anyone know? Is that Ironforge, maybe? Ironforge, okay. Those damn dwarfs. You think they will shut down the server too? Nope, I don't think this server is going to get shut down. It cannot get shut down.
What can I do for you?
Clam shield. Somebody whispers me. Ask what's the name of the shield.
What can I do for you?
As to holy light. Oh yeah, concentration aura. Blessing of might. That's it. Looking for enchanter with 1% vamp on razor. Let's try see if we can find an enchanter again to get this razor enchanted with vampirism. So I got the mats for it. Oh, I ran the wrong way. Gotta deliver this quest first. Abandon these two. Oh, he got it though. He's in Felwood. That's a troll warlock as well, so he's on the wrong side. There's a harbor right beside Felwood. We can take the boat to Darkshore from Stormwind Harbor. True. But there should be somebody here in Stormwind, right? Would that enchant? No? Is it too early? People haven't been living their professions. Come free bracer enchant. Who says that? Already in group? Well, we can always start with that if it's free. I appreciate it. I started a rogue coming from OctoWoW. The delay is night and day difference. Going from 160 to 50 MS. Yeah, I've got 64 MS right now. I can. I haven't tried Cappy, I must admit. But that is also one of the reasons why I did not start on Cappy. I waited for OctoWoW. Well, there are many reasons, but that's just one of them, right? Let's actually send some of this to my bank out. Maybe I could make my way to Ironforge and also ask in general chat in Ironforge. Oh, somebody tried to trade me? Oh no. Oh, that's me. It's because I'm holding down shift. Is it rare, the vampirism enchant? I don't actually know where it's from. I thought it was just some cheap vendor enchant. Well, anyway, we gotta go learn two-handed axes anyways, so might as well just check Ironforge. See if there's anyone standing around there with the vamp enchant. And is there a quest giver here? There she is. That's also for stock aids, I think.
Hey there. Be careful.
Not long until we can go to Northshire. Or Northwind, not Northshire, Northwind, right? Yeah. Absolute favorite zone. Like, this is also new, right? Vanilla doesn't normally have a map for the deep run. I think they've made a lot of maps for the interior of many, like, old zones. Like, it's small details like that that makes OctoWoW / TurtleWoW feel just way more polished than any other, either be it Classic Plus private server or Blizzard's own Classic for that matter, even Season of Discovery and stuff like that. Season of Discovery and Mastery, they made some different stuff, but they didn't like finish any of the original stuff that was already there. And that is really what I like about TurtleWoW. It feels so polished. Where was it? Was it in the military district? Where we learn axes. Weapon master. It must be.
Can I help you?
I was just about to ask myself, why would a gnome teach me two-handed axes? That would not make any sense. And thankfully,
Interesting.
she doesn't. So, it's this guy, which makes much more sense. Yeah. GigaChat gnome. That's gotta be the reason. God, I hate gnomes. Oh yeah, we should ask about the vampirism. Let's just check if there's anyone here. And if I don't get a response within a minute, I'm going to Hearthstone to Goldshire, and I'm going to continue AoE grinding a little bit more. Is it true that rogues got permanent cleave now? Yes, to some extent. Let's open the talent calculator for rogues. And I think... No, by the way, it's not the talent. Right, it is Blade Flurry. Now, Blade Flurry is not something that... It's not a cooldown. It's something that you toggle on and off. And I think it reduces the... It reduces your regeneration or is the damage, I can't remember. In turn, you get to cleave, I think, one extra target, or is it two extra mobs? But every rogue now learns baseline Blade Flurry. Don't seem to get any response on the vampirism enchant. So let's just go to Goldshire. I think I'm gonna be streaming for like maybe 15 minutes, half an hour more. And then I'm going to go watch a movie with my wife. Oh, let's buy a horse. Let's see how many mobs we can handle at a time. Can't wait until I unlock Holy Shield. Combining that with a shield spike, and you really start to do a lot of damage. Now's the boring part. So Rogue is even valid in dungeons now. Yep. They're better at, yeah, handling bigger packs of mobs. At least. Other than survival being melee, did the hunter get any love in Turtle? Yes, absolutely. Hunter in the latest patch 1.18.1 got a complete talent overhaul. So it is, they've really got a lot of things going for them. Can I show you? I don't know if this is too small to see. Talent calculator at the bottom right. But now Hunter Pets, Beastmaster got completely overhauled. There's a lot of scaling in here with the armor and stamina, coordinated assault. You got intimidation. You've also got Beastal Wrath here. It's been moved up. And now you can trigger Beastal Wrath from your auto attacks. You also got Spirit Bond, so even more pet scaling with your like damage scaling, pet hit, and weapon skill, so that it doesn't miss on bosses. And kill command that procs after you make a critical strike. Also marksmanship, aimed shot into experimental ammunition and into lock and load. It doesn't, lock and load doesn't function exactly as it does in Wrath of the Lich King, but it drastically reduces your cast time of your aimed shot. I think it goes down to 1 second, and now aim shot has a longer baseline cooldown. What class will you be rolling on the PvP server? I'll be rolling a hunter, orc hunter likely, or Tauren shaman. I haven't decided completely yet, but it's between those two. Octo hype, hell yeah! Love that you are enjoying Octo, Shelde. Yeah, Chief Rocky, absolutely I am. It's awesome. Awesome server. Are you playing here as well, Chief, or are you still on Sandworlds, mainly? Gaia asks, will there be more people on the normal server or on the PvP server? Yeah, we don't know, but I think, according to my stats and what I've seen before, is that there will be more people on the PvE server. So if that is a major factor in which server you decide to level on, I'd say that it's likely that there are going to be more people on the PvE server. I made a poll some time ago. It got about 600 or something, 600 or 700 votes, and it was leaning towards the PvE server, like 60% against 40% on the PvP server. So it's not much, but it is a little difference. But we'll have to see what happens. How well the druids do in PvP? Well, they're really strong in PvP, druids, as well. They've, feral druids have been buffed, and Bromkin druids have been buffed significantly. So they are definitely better, but I actually am not sure when we're comparing to the rest, because everybody has, like every class has seen major changes. So I'm not confident enough in my knowledge of PvP at endgame to come with a certain strong recommendation in either way. Like I can't, for instance, I can't make a tier list at this point because I just don't feel confident enough in my knowledge to where I think that would be helpful in any way, or precise rather, because I want to be precise. Oh, you're still on Sandworlds, looking to come over to Octo after lunch. Thanks for asking. Yeah, man. Are you gonna be playing on the PvP server, Chief? Guys, by the way, if you don't know Chief Rocky, he makes some awesome content on YouTube. He has some good knowledge on the servers, and just been talking about Capybara, OctoWoW, and Sandworlds a lot. I suggest you go check out his channel. It's actually him that I got some of the knowledge that I have about the servers. It's actually from Chief Rocky. Absolutely, man. We're YouTubers, we gotta stick together. Probably PvE. If it's something like Turtle, then it will not even be close. Well, I think, I hope that it will be better than what happened on Turtle, because as I've stated earlier in the stream on TurtleWoW, there was a lot of things happening around the PvP server's launch. First of all, when Telebim launched, TurtleWoW wasn't as hype as it is now. So, or it wasn't as known, rather say, as it is now. So many of the class changes weren't implemented yet, because the server launched before the 1.17 class changes, which was the biggest overhaul of classes and additions to classes. So that made an impact, I think. And I also think that right after Telebim launched, I think within a few months after Telebim launched, that is when Blizzard Entertainment launched what's it called, Season of Discovery. So actually the PvP server on Telebim, it started out with around 6,000 players, and then it dropped down to around 300 players after the launch of Season of Discovery, and then it never really recovered after that. So I hope to see more people this time, but we'll see if Blizzard
Let
goes
the
ahead and
hunt begin.
oh, thanks for subscribing, Della. If Blizzard goes ahead and launches Classic Plus in a few months from now, then we'll definitely see the server die. Because I think, well, maybe people will probably return because they find out that, you know, Blizzard will fuck it up as they usually do with bots. If not out of touch additions, then, you know, fly hacking and bots and intrusive microtransactions and stuff like that. So, in the end, I think like Blizzard really gotta change, like fundamentally change how they do World of Warcraft. Like on such a massive scale that like something like even like just banning bots, which they haven't been able to do that in like since Classic, like since forever. Their only solution to the bot problem was the WoW token, and that is something that, you know, just scares people away more than the bots, I think. So, and if they don't handle the bots in some way, people will in the end, they will end up here again, I think. We have to respect Blizzard for what they created. However, the team they have now are disconnected from what the players actually want. Yep, exactly. Blizzard is completely out of touch. And I think, well, it's people might argue that look at the numbers, they're still the biggest MMO. Yes, I think, and that is true for now, but it's not. It's basically because there is no real competitor MMO. Because it's not fun basically to go play the same game over and over again, but it's just the best there is. Like there is no better MMO in my opinion than World of Warcraft or vanilla World of Warcraft / Classic Plus. And that is why people keep returning to the older version of the game, is simply because it nailed something. The relevancy of the world is just much stronger in this older version of the game, and all the systems that they've added over the years, some of them are good, but it does not outweigh the bad ones, in my opinion. It's usually like one step forward and two steps back with Blizzard and what they implement to the game, and that is why they were losing subscribers for the longest time. And, you know, Classic catapulted them back into relevancy, which they wouldn't have been otherwise. And it started with Burning Crusade. It started with Flying Mounts and Resilience. 2 missteps. Lots and lots of great things about TBC, but the major drawbacks, in my opinion, was Resilience, and it was Flying Mounts. And second to that, it was the relevancy of the vanilla world. It became less relevant, basically. Hi man, been playing Octo since closed signups, enjoying your videos. You think about joining the new upcoming PvP server? Yeah, I'm going to be leveling on the PvP, so I'm going to be leveling a horde, either a hunter or a shaman. Good points. I hope you're right that the PvP realm will shine. In any case, we play there until the end. Absolutely, man. I'm going to give it a shot, for sure. I enjoy PvP, I enjoy open world PvP, but in the end, of course, if there's a massive discrepancy between the amount of players on the PvE versus the PvP realm, I'm probably going to stick with the with the realm where there are the most players, basically, right? Currently playing Horde because I want to play Shaman, prefer Alliance, so I hope they add Dwarf Shaman. Yeah, actually I made a poll. I don't know if you've seen it, but I made a poll on my community posts on my YouTube channel. You can go vote whether or not you would like to see Undead Paladins and Dwarf Shamans. I think lore-wise, those two are probably the most fitting if they wanted to, you know, add and balance around. Because I think it's harder to balance, not so much on a PvE realm in terms of like raids and dungeons, but since the PvP realm, you probably can't cross faction group together, so in that sense the PvEers will have an advantage over the PvPers in terms of dungeoneering and raiding and stuff. Sadly, don't think that Blizzard will get Classic Plus right. They are so out of touch nowadays. Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to play the if not just as a reviewer, to review it and see what it is, but I do not have high hopes for Classic Plus. I don't doubt that they can implement some things that are great, but I think it's the same with, like it was with the Season of Discovery. Like it's a one step forward, two steps back. Let's do some end game or some dungeon raids. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Let's do level caps. Okay, that's pretty awesome. And let's do incursions. Like, what the fuck? That just ruins the entire game. So they cannot do, like, it is always one step forward, two steps back with those guys. That's crazy. Shelda, you should 100% announce you being live on your Discord. I'll do that next time, actually. That's a good idea. I don't know how to run a Discord, if I have to be honest. I think a lot of, I think people, like, I don't know anything about setting up a Discord and how to actually, I think a lot of people, the other streamers, I barely know anything about OBS. So it's a miracle that I've gotten this far, I think. But I think a lot of people, they use these what's it called, bots to help with the Discord and stuff like that. But I could do a slash or a hashtag everyone and just yeah, announce my streaming. You're completely right. I should do that. I'll probably, if I can remember it, I'll do it next time. You and me both. Yeah. I'll be rolling a Dwarf Paladin on the PvP realm unless they drop Undead Pallies. If that's the case, I'll go Horde. Yeah. I would have been Horde as well if it wasn't for only Paladin only being on the Alliance side. Rocky says, yeah, hit the nail on the head. The new generation they have running on Blizzard cannot write a good story or create a good game or get good game flow at all. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they butchered the lore. Like, they absolutely butchered the lore. I was really a big lore guy, but I haven't, like, all the retconning and all the goddamn, I don't know, man, the butchering of the Arthur's, like his redemption arc and stuff like that is just, but even way beyond that. To be honest, if you go straight from Warcraft 3 and to Burning Crusade, Like even before that, but let's not talk about that now. But just think about Illidan. Why would we fight Illidan? It doesn't make any sense. If anything, we should have tried to, as players, recruit Illidan to help us defeat Arthas, because that's where we left off from Warcraft 3. In the end, Illidan was defeated at the Frozen Throne by Arthas, right? That's what happened right before Frozen Throne ends. Suddenly, he's no longer on Azeroth, he's back in Outland. Okay, that's fine. But why are we going to kill him if we have a looming threat of Arthas? Just in Northrend. And on the same planet, we go to a whole different planet in TBC to kill our greatest ally that can help defeat Arthas. That doesn't make any sense. What we should have been there for is maybe try to free Illidan from some sort of from Kil'jaeden's grasp, because Kil'jaeden threatened Illidan. If he could not defeat the Lich King, if he could not handle the Lich King, then Kil'jaeden would have like gone after Illidan just like he did with Ner'zhul, right? Ner'zhul is the Lich King, the original Lich King, and he was an orc that he was the shaman, and he got killed by or tortured by Kil'jaeden, and then put in the suit that he's the armor. His spirit was put in the armor that is the Lich King, right? As punishment, he was sent back to Azeroth to try and assemble the Scourge to try and defeat the humans, or weaken the humans for the Legion invasion. So it doesn't make any sense that like we would want to kill Illidan, because that should have been like, we should have tried to protect Illidan from Kil'jaeden and then Illidan help us to defeat Arthas. That would have made way more sense, in my opinion, to write the story that way. But, you know, it's been worse and worse and worse since Wrath of the Lich King. It's just gone the wrong way. But that's a completely different rant. The war mode on OctoWoW, is it just to slash PvP? No, you have to visit a Battle Master and then activate it, and you also have to deactivate it if you want to deactivate it at a Battle Master. As far as I know, that's the only way you can do it. Discord requires phone number, so it's unusable spamware by default. Forsaken Paladin is just really cool, to be honest. They have some of the most awesome posture out of a tomb, yeah. Only upright orcs are better. Yeah, I think Undead Paladin, I know from a lore perspective, you have to bend things, right? But I think, as you know, private servers and Blizzard for that matter have done many times over, try to make room for gameplay over lore. Because if you say, like, it doesn't make any sense for Undead Paladin, some people say that, and I can understand that to some extent. But also I'd say then, to counter that, it doesn't make sense that the undead are with any faction. They should be their own faction, same as Night Elves, because that was how it was in Warcraft 3. Humans and High Elves and Dwarves, they were together. Orcs, Trolls and Tauren, they were together. Night Elves was their own race. They could have been together with some, these mountain giants and dryads. And, what's it called? These... not wisps, but these other dragon creatures. And the undead would have been, you know, the undead abominations and gargoyles and all of that, basically. Obsidians. So, yeah. Like both the Alliance and the Horde hated the undead because of what they did. So, saying that the undead would just have joined the Horde, why would the Horde ever accept the undead in their ranks? It doesn't make any sense. But I can understand if you want to make two factions, you have to like bend the lore a little bit, and that's fair enough. But I'd argue that you can do the same then for undead paladins and dwarf shamans. Who is more connected to the earth than earthen? Right? Earthen are the dwarves. Dwarves are the earthen. And what is a shaman? Is someone connected to the earth, to the elements.
Let the hunt begin.
Bobsy, thank you for subscribing. Unpopular opinion, versatility over resilience. Maybe, as like, for me, I don't really have a problem with resilience per se. I just have a problem with stat exclusivity. Because if you say, well, it's only PvP gear that has resilience, and there are only a handful of items now that I can get. If you take like resilience and you just add it to all gear in the entire world, just add it to everything, well then there's no problem anymore, because my issue with resilience or PvP stats is that it forces me into a checklist of gear. So there's no RPG in the game anymore. I have no choice left, basically. If I want to optimize for PvP, I got one choice, which is the PvP vendor. And that is just a list of gear, and that's it. And the game really fast. For me, that's where I kind of got bored with the game already at TBC, because my options were just PvP gear. And that's the only options I had. There was no need for me, there was no reason for me to go out and do dungeons and do specific quests or farm rep somewhere, or, you know, do raids and stuff. Because what benefit would that bring if I'm gearing for PvP? And I don't want to run around with two different sets of gear. I'm interested in PvP in the end. I level to do and I gear and I level to do PvP. That is the purpose of my life. In my opinion, it is because of human relationships. Basically, Furion is a spiritual boyfriend, and therefore Illidan is just a cheating stud. Yeah, bring back Illidan from the Fel corruption, and his infernal jealousy would have made such a great story plot. Yeah. Yeah, the lore died for you in Ref, Chief. Yeah. I think that I don't know about, I think storytelling in Ref, I understand that they wanted us to be more involved with authors, and we got to see him a little bit more, and I appreciate that, but he also became less of a grand villain to some extent, because there was so much interaction with him. And in my opinion, I don't think we should have been able to defeat Arthas. I think how Rev should have ended is with us trying to capture him, or not capture him, but imprison him in some way, so that we'd have to go back and fight him again. So you don't delete the threat, because then you have to make up new story, and there's nothing better than, you know, something like some villain as iconic as Arthas for the lore. He should not be able to be defeated by the players alone, in my opinion. it should have been an much grander thing, an attempt from not only the players themselves, but also the giant heroes of Azeroth, like Malfurion should have been a part of that battle against Arthas together with his brother Illidan. And we should have had Jaina there. Well, she was there as well, but we should have seen all these forces completely attempt to defeat him, but not being successful in it. So we'd still have that threat looming in the future. I mean, I know things the characters in the world didn't. Of course, for us, Illidan can be a hero, but from the Alliance and Horde, he was acting like a conqueror. Yeah, I can see that. That is actually true. From the perspective of the player in World of Warcraft, because we of course know more, but he was more of a anti-hero, and he stated many times as well, not only to us the players and to Malfurion himself, that he was trying to do, like, he was trying to remove Northrend from the planet. He was trying to separate the Northrend from the planet because of the greater good, basically. And the way, like, he's a guy that is like by any means necessary, right? That is Illidan in a nutshell. I'll do this by any means necessary, even if it hurts the people around me. And that is a very capable guy. But it is also, and I don't know if that's a villain. Maybe it is a villain. But it's complicated in that way. And that's what I really love about Warcraft lore, is that it's not really black and white. Same with Arthas, to some extent. I know in World of Warcraft they wanted to paint him as just a bad guy, but it's more complicated in Warcraft. The writing in Warcraft was just better. He wasn't this black and white evil guy. He was a guy who wanted to save his people by any means necessary, even if it meant bearing any curse. So, yeah, I think that is kind of forgotten in World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, these villains are either villains or they are good guys. There's not much in between. Have you done a video on how to install OctoWoW and add-ons? No, I have not. I have an add-on video for TurtleWoW, but I don't actually have anything for OctoWoW. But it's straightforward. You just download the launcher from the website, and that's pretty much it. All the add-ons are part of the launcher. All the mods you need to apply vanilla fixes and manpower, and that's pretty much it. You're good to go. Ogres are really a missed race. Rexxar is the most important character I've ever got. Never got his lore fame. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, imagine in the entire Frozen Throne expansion we played as Rexxar. That is the only hero we played as throughout the Frozen Throne expansion to Warcraft 3. And we never got to elaborate on that character in World of Warcraft. So it's a massive missed opportunity. Massively. Like, Blizzard really dropped the ball when it comes to Rexxar. Like, that is absolutely insane. I could not agree more with you. That's actually my entire YouTube channel. You know, the icon you see is partly inspired by Rexxar. If if you want to talk about shitty lore, let's discuss the fact that the Blood Elves are the biggest patriots of the Horde in this current shitty lore. Yeah, Blood Elves are oddball, right? They started in Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne as well, and I also think that Kael'thas is, again, his lore was also butchered. He was such an awesome guy in Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, and the way they ended up just butchering this guy is kind of sad, in my opinion. Again, someone who was not actually a villain at all, like not even to the same extent as Illidan was an anti-hero, but Kael'thas was a very interesting guy, and he was also skeptical of Illidan way more than Lady Vashj. Like, he could have been written so much. The Blood Elves in general could have been written so much better. We need ogres. It's crazy they aren't an option still. That's so important lore-wise. Yeah, I agree with you. Ogres and Taurens. Like, ogres play a massive role in Warcraft 1 and 2, right? They were part of the original Horde. So it does not make sense that they are just some nothing now. And it's not even to this day are they a playable race. And I agree with that. That doesn't actually make any sense. At least goblins are a playable race, not only in TurtleWoW but also in retail, right? But it took them some time. Yes, Arthas was by any means necessary. Yeah, he was. Miles, that is correct. Man killed his sanity and his own father to accomplish his goals. True. But I'd argue at that point he was already lost. But yeah, I get what you're saying. He did all he could to the point where it corrupted him. And that's also, like, a lot of people were speculating for a long time. Well, there must be some part of him left in there that was still good. And of course there was. Like, have you guys seen I did a video on Illidan and I did a video on Arthas. Have you guys seen those videos? If you haven't, go to my YouTube channel and you have to watch these two videos. This one with Arthas, a tribute to Arthas. It was a long time. I made this 3 years ago. Holy moly. And I made this one as well with Illidan, also approximately 3 years ago. Maybe we should watch this one together, guys. Imagine YouTuber watching his own videos. But hey, I love this video. That's why I made it. It was a creative outlet for me. Let me just answer some comments and then we'll watch this one, guys. Because I think maybe some of you haven't watched it. Illidan acted as a CEO or stakeholder profit above all. Illidan was Blizzard. Yeah, to some extent you're right. I think Illidan is the Punisher anti-hero. He acts as a brutal vigilante who functions as judge, jury, and executioner, crossing the line between traditional superheroes won't. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Chief. And that is what makes him such an interesting character. Lore-wise and just story-wise, the writing in Warcraft 3 is just phenomenal. You get so invested in these characters. Difference is Illidan sacrifices everything. Arthas sacrifices everybody. That's why Illidan got his redemption, where Arthas not. Well, Illidan, yeah, he sacrifices, but he's also very egotistic, right? He does many things for the sake of him getting more powerful. And that is why in the end his brother forsakes him and doesn't want anything to do with him, because even though he does some things to help you know, the elves, and he does something to help his people, it is not without him also benefiting from it. It is to some extent still egotistically. Blood elves should not be playable race. I'm glad Turtle gave the high elf law the justice they deserve. Yes, I agree that high elves has always been a part of the alliance, and it was only Kael'thas and his blood elves who joined Illidan. And I kind of agree with you to that extent, that blood elves should have always like only been part of, you know, Illidan's thing, basically. Dragonovi confirmed that Turtle had planned to add Horde Ogres and Alliance Furbox in a future patch. That's very interesting. Also interesting choice for Alliance race. But yeah, it's hard to come up with something for Alliance that maybe they don't already have, right? High Elf was basically the most obvious one, of course, but next to that, what would be at least something that we've seen in Warcraft? And I really haven't seen much in Warcraft to be like in Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. That would make sense as an Alliance race. So yeah, maybe Furbox is the closest thing, because they were allies to the Night Elves for a very, very long time before they got corrupted by the Satyr and the Legion. I will be coming over to OctoWoW if it fully releases. We hope to see you here, Chief. Guys, let's, if you haven't already watched this one, let's watch this one together. I'm very proud of this video.
Betrayer.
Actually, let's do this.
Illidan, your anger is misplaced. I have not insulted you.
You have cast me out, Cenarius.
No, you may remain here, but I will no longer be your teacher. If you wish to continue studying the wilds, you may do so with your brother.
So I must learn from a novice instead of a master?
You must learn respect. Malfurion will become the first druid, because he is a dedicated student. You are not. To walk this path requires sacrifice, Illidan. Something you have yet to understand.
Brother. Oh no. How could I have forgotten?
What is
Sorry.
behind this door that worries you, my love?
This door leads to Illidan's prison, Tyrande. We should go. Now.
Illidan? It's been 10,000 years. Could he still be alive? We should free him. He would be the perfect ally against the undead and their demon masters.
No, Tyrande. That beast must never be set free.
But he is your brother.
Be that as it may, he is far too dangerous. I forbid it.
Only the goddess may forbid me anything. I will free Illidan whether you like it or not. Illidan, is that you?
Tyrande, it is your voice. After all these ages spent in darkness, your voice is like the pure light of the moon upon my mind.
The Legion has returned, Illidan. Your people have need of you once more.
Because I once cared for you, Tyrande, I will hunt down the demons. But I will never owe our people anything.
Then let us hurry back to the surface. The demon's corruption spreads with every second we waste.
It has been an eternity, brother. An eternity spent in darkness.
Illidan, you were sentenced to pay for your sins. Nothing more.
And who are you to judge me? We fought the demons side by side, if you recall.
Enough of this, both of you. What is done. My love, with Illidan's help, we will drive the demons back once again and save what is left of our beloved land.
Have you even considered the cost, Tyrande? This betrayer's aid may doom us all before the end. I will have nothing to do with this.
I am free after 10,000 years. Yet still my own brother thinks I am a villain. I'll show him my true power. I'll show him that the demons have no hold over me.
Foul demon! What have you done with my brother?
It is I. This is what I've become.
No. Illidan, how could you?
The leader of the undead has been destroyed, and the forests will heal in time.
At the cost of your soul? You are no brother of mine. Be gone from this place, and never set foot in our lands again.
So be it, brother.
In truth, it was I who was betrayed. Fools! Can you not see? The spell we channeled was meant to strike at the undead, our common enemy. My mission was to destroy the Lich King's stronghold of Icecrown.
And no heed to the cost! Because of you, Tyrande is dead!
What?
Too much blood has been spilled on your account, Illidan. Even now, I can feel the lands of Northrend reeling from the spell you cast. Imprisonment will not be enough this time.
Believe me, brother. Despite all our differences, you know that I would never lead Tyrande to harm. Let me help you. Let me do this, at least.
Very well.
You risked your life for me? I don't understand.
Whatever I may be, whatever I may become in this world, know that I will always look out for you, Tyrande.
Tyrande!
I knew you would not forsake me.
I thought I'd lost you forever, my love. If not for Illidan's aid, I may well have.
We have had much strife between us, my brother. I have known only ages of hate for you, but for my part, I wish it to end. From this day forward, let there be peace between us.
You have brought much suffering to the world, Illidan. For that, you can never be forgiven. However, you saved the life of my love. For that, I will let you go.
Yeah, man, Rocky, I'll do that.
You risked your life for me. I don't understand.
Whatever I may be, whatever I may become in this world, know that I will always look out for you, Tyrande.
That's it. I hope it wasn't too cringe. But yeah, that's Illidan's story in a nutshell, I think. Thanks, man. I'll link it in chat because you asked, Rocky. And check out the other one as well, the authors. If you guys are into the lore and tribute videos like this, they can be a little bit cringe, I think, for some people. But I enjoyed making those videos. Those were a blast. Anyways, guys, I think this is going to be it for now. I got work tomorrow as well, and we made it to level almost 24, and it's time to get some rested experience anyway. So hope you enjoyed the stream today, guys. Play the Arthur's video next, please. I'll link it in chat, guys, and then you can watch it yourself. That's the Arthur's one I just put in chat, and yeah. Work Sunday, yeah, I got work on the Sunday. That's how it is. At least until I can live off of YouTube and streaming and content creation, which is the dream, but probably need to be, something that's not as niche as private servers if I want to scale. But this is the most fun, to be honest. But guys, that's it for now. And yeah, man, thanks for being here. Thanks for commenting, fan, for being a part of the stream. Love you guys, and hopefully I'll see you in the next stream. And yeah, that's it for now. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.